All right, y'all. So we finna have a little story time, okay? So tell me why an inmate don't try me up, and orderly at that. So you moving around in the jail because you got good behavior. Now you finna take your ass right back to that motherfucking cell. Cause boo, who did you think I was? Who? All right, so let me tell y'all, right? So I went to go warm up my food, right? I went to go warm up my food. So I went, put my food in the microwave. I went to the bathroom, came back to the room that the microwave was in to get my food out. Now, just a little backstory, right? So this particular day, it was like every time I looked up, I seen this man looking at me. Every single time I looked up, you looking at me. So when I'm in the room warming up my food, now mind you, I'm in medical. I'm in the medical department. We have a microwave in there. So I go in that room, you know what I'm saying, like after I use the bathroom, come back in to get my food out the microwave, you come in the door. Now, also a little, just information so I can set the scene, let you know what's going on. There is an officer in medical. There's always an officer in medical at all times. And this time, at this particular time, the officer was sitting in his little office area. And I was in the back, towards the back, where the fridge and the machine was, where the microwave was. So yeah, he come in there, and I already kind of had a feeling that it was gonna be something crazy because you've been looking at me all day. You've been looking at me. So he came in there. He trying to make small talk. He was like, "Yeah, you look familiar. Where you from?" And then he was like, "Yeah, you look like you from the east side of town." And I was like, "Yeah, nah." So he was like, "Hey, I want to ask you a question. If I ask you a question, are you gonna tell on me?" Immediately, my mind went to, "Oh, this finna be some bullshit." So I was like, "Yeah, no. Hey, you can go on. Like, you can leave." Now, note, guys. I'm used to being around inmates, so it's not like I'm just like scared. But you know what I'm saying? You have to be like paying attention. Like, I'm not always the type to be like, "Oh, this man finna try to do something to me." Even though, you know what I'm saying, you gotta keep in the back of your mind that you are working in a correctional setting and you don't know what some of these guys are thinking. There are some inmates that are like, protective over the staff, especially over the women, and like, "Yeah, nah, we ain't gonna let none of that happen." But some of these guys are really sick. And this particular person, I really didn't think anything of it or of him until that day when every time I looked up, I see you looking at me. So it's like, okay, what do you want? So yeah, when he was like, "If I ask you a question, are you gonna tell on me?" I was just like, "Yeah, man, go on with all that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know none of that." He was like, "Oh no, it's nothing like that. I just want to, I'm not trying to ask you to bring something in or anything like that." I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "If I asked you, can I jack on you? Are you gonna tell on me?" Can you believe that nigga really asked me that? Baby, I got up out of that room so fast. I'm talking about, I said, "Oh, hell no. Out of there. Out of there. Out of there." Whole time I'm walking fast. I'm speed walking out too. I'm speed walking. He's like, "You gonna tell on me? You gonna tell on me?" I'm finna go tell on you right now. I'm finna go tell on you right now. And let me tell you, we just gonna call him Sebastian, right? We're gonna say his name Sebastian. And we're gonna call the officer DeMarcus. So like I said, whole time I'm getting up out of there, Sebastian behind me asking, "Am I gonna go tell?" Yeah, I'm finna go tell right now. So I went to DeMarcus and I kind of played it a little cool. I was like, "Yeah, I need to tell you something, but I'm a little uncomfortable." So I went to go sit down. So, oh boy, he just moving around, because he the orderly, you know what I'm saying? So he cleaning medical up. So as soon as, like he leave out or he oh, that's what it was. He went to the infirmary and the male side of the infirmary. So if you don't know, with the infirmary, that's pretty much inside of medical, where we house like the sickest of the patients, the sickest of the inmates. So he went inside of the male dormitory inside of medical. So I was like, yeah, perfect opportunity. So I just went ahead and told DeMarcus, like, "Yo, this man just tried me up. Da 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 da." And he was like, "Whoa, crazy. Okay, yeah, cool. That's cool. That's fine. So I was like, yeah, what happens next? He was like, yeah, he's gonna be taking off a detail, this, that, and the third. But it was like, I don't know. I kind of expected something to happen right then and there. Like I kind of expected him to go ahead and like make a move, but it didn't work like that. So the man was just still moving around, and honestly, I don't think that he knew that I had said something. I'm pretty sure he suspected it, but he just kept moving around, acting like everything was normal. And so they ended up leaving out. DeMarcus and Sebastian. They ended up leaving out of medical. So I'm just like, okay, they were going to go get something. That's what it was. They went to go get something. Now Sebastian tried to get DeMarcus to go get it by himself, but DeMarcus was like, no, we finna go together. So at this point in time, I'm just like, okay, they come back. I'm like, yeah, nah, So I left out. You know what I'm saying? I left out. And I went to go talk to the captain. I'm like, look, Cap, this what just happened. Okay? I had to go let him know because I felt like DeMarcus wasn't going to do nothing. I'm just like, bro, this man really just tried me. Y'all sitting up here chopping it up, which is like, I understand. I don't know how every officer moves, but there are certain officers that I know that just don't play that. This particular guy, I want to say that was like his first night in medical. I'm not used to seeing him. I don't really know who he is. But let it would have been any other officer. I know they don't play the radio. But it seemed like he was trying to like be Sebastian's friend, if you know what I'm saying. But I'm just like, no, I'm not having that, bro. Because if I let this little thing slide, ain't no telling what this man might try to hit me with. So that's why I had to go ahead and nip it in the bud right then and there. Because if I don't say something, like I said, this man might, ain't no telling. Oh, that nurse right there, she easy. Word around the jail. No, we not doing that. So soon as I got back to medical from telling Captain, he had DeMarcus like typing some stuff up. DeMarcus then told me to write a statement. I'm like, yeah, so why was that so hard? Why did it take me going to the captain to go for it to like get to where it needs to be? So long story short, Sebastian is no longer on detail. He is no longer an orderly. He is not moving around medical. Because, baby, let something had not been done, I was going to cut the fool. Baby, I worked too hard for my nursing license to let an inmate try to manipulate me. And I not had them things no more. I don't seen too many people get walked out for inmate dealing. And, baby, this was not finna be one of them. So, yeah, if you work in corrections, honey, watch your back. Because they ruthless. Okay?